Hi, my name is Yin Gao and welcome to Dr. Gao's classroom. I'm a professional philosopher and I love classical Chinese poetry. I have been translating classical Chinese poetry for the last few years. With a colleague of mine, I would love to share my knowledge with you. Your enjoyment is my command. Today, I'm going to introduce the poet who shared the title of the two greatest poets with Li Bai in classical China. His name is Du Fu. It is not surprising that he was exclaimed as one of the best poets in Chinese poetic tradition. There are more than 1,300 poems by Du Fu survived today, and many of his poems are still memorized by every school child in China, as well as in other places such as Taiwan, Singapore, or any place where Chinese is taught. The reason for this is complicated. Firstly, Du Fu's poetry are masterpieces in every sense of the term. The style is elegant and concise. He composed some of the most beautiful poems in classical Chinese. Secondly, and quite significantly, his poetry is for the common people. Du Fu was a true believer of Confucian ideal. He believed that a sage emperor, by upholding the Confucian values and assisted by talented scholar officials, should be able to transform a society into a Confucian paradise where the elderly and the young would be cared for and the common people could enjoy a peaceful life. Even after witnessing the terrible lives of the common people at the capital during the constant war and the high tax, Du Fu still held the view that a sage emperor would be able to resolve all these troubles and use the poetry as a means to communicate the reality to the emperor and high-rank officials so that they would adopt policies that were beneficial to the common people. Many of his best-known poems presented a realistic portrait of the suffering of the people. That is why he is known for his compassion and revered as Shi Sheng, the sage of poetry. For many people, Du Fu was an old wise man who cared about people. It seemed that he had never been young and free. That was, of course, not true. Even though he did not uphold an ambition for military achievement, he was not against the emperor's territorial ambition to expand the empire. Instead, he was against the specific policy that allowed too much power to the generals at the frontier, while acknowledging that it was necessary to defend the borders and victorious generals should be awarded accordingly. What he was truly against was the suffering inflicted on the common people due to the constant war. So I'm going to talk briefly about his life and translate two poems from a set of 5 which showed how he felt about the emperor's expansionist policy. In my next video, I'm going to continue my story about Du Fu and translate 2 of his poems. One poem is one of his best-known poems lamenting the destruction brought by war between the Anlushan and the emperor's army. The other poem is about the peaceful life he enjoyed briefly at Chengdu, which was very rare during Du Fu's lifetime. If you're new to my channel, please check out my other videos on classical Chinese poetry, philosophy, or medical literature. If you like the contents of these videos, please click the like button and subscribe my channel. I also offer one-to-one online lesson on these subjects. If you would like to read the original text, please contact me. Here's my email address. Now, let me first talk a bit about Du Fu's life. Du Fu was born in 712 AD to a family of scholar officials in today's Henan province. His father was a magistrate of a county, while his mother was from a well-known aristocrat's family, Qinghe Cui or the Cui clan from Qinghe. It was his grandfather, a professor at the State Academy, who made an impact on young Du Fu. His grandfather, Du Shenyan, was well known for his literary talent, especially poetry. Young Du Fu studied diligently his grandfather's poetry, and he mentioned many times in his own poem how much he admired his grandfather's literary talents and how proud he was of his family culture heritage. When Du Fu was young, his family was pretty well off. At the age of 18, Du Fu set off for a grand study tour. From 730 to 735 AD, Du Fu traveled from Jiangsu, Zhejiang, Anhui to Shanxi provinces, visiting all the historical sites and all the well-known academies and scholars, showing them his poetry and essay, trying to build a literary name for himself. This was the 8th century in Imperial China, and travel was expensive and dangerous. Just imagine, even today, how many youngsters can afford a study tour lasting 5 years. In 735, Du Fu was 24 and finally ready to take the National Civil Service examination to start his political career. He was quite confident that he would pass because he had built a reputation as a young talent. However, to his surprise, he failed to pass. Du Fu was disappointed but was not discouraged. So he just continued his travel. This time, he set off to the north, visiting well-known places at today's Hebei and Shandong provinces, such as Taishan or Mountain Tai. In 741, Du Fu married the daughter of a high-rank official and settled at a farm near Luoyang he inherited from his grandfather, and visiting the officials from Luoyang to find an entry to the bureaucratic system. In 744, he met Li Bai for the first time. Later on, the two of them traveled together for several months and established a lifelong friendship. I already made 2 videos about their interactions and the poems they exchanged with each other. If you would like to know more about their relationship, here are the 2 videos. At the age of 34, Du Fu tried again at the National Civil Service examination. This was a special examination ordered by the Emperor Li Longji to recruit talents for his central government. However, the then premier Li Linfu, a distant cousin of the emperor, worried that if a real talent showed up, he might be replaced. So he organized to fail everyone, and then reported to the emperor saying, 也无遗贤, meaning no talent was left outside of the court. This was devastating to Du Fu because he had a high hope for this examination. In the following 10 years, until the rebel of Anlushan, Du Fu stayed in Chang'an. Even though he could only get low-rank positions, he composed a lot of poems presenting a realistic picture of the difficult lives of a poor scholar official and a commoner due to the constant military campaigns raised by the ambitious Emperor Li Longji. Li Longji, although he was mostly known for his romantic love for his concubine Yang Yuhuan, was an ambitious emperor. Oh, of course, their love affair was immortalized by Bai Ji, who composed a very long poem telling their story. I'm planning to make a video with my colleague translating that poem. It should be fun. Anyway, during the Longji's regime, he expanded the empire's border to the west, the north, and the south by conquering territories from Chufan, Nanzhao, and Qidan. In order to man and fund the wars, large number of young men were forced to join the army and huge tax was imposed on the common people. This expansionist international policy was supported by the aristocrats and many high-rank officials because it glorifies the emperor and helped the young men from such families to advance their careers by military achievement. The small land-owning gentry class also supported this policy because their young ones could also win their titles and lands by military achievement too. The two poems I selected here are from a set of 5s. In these poems, Du Fu expressed his support for this policy, even though he expressed some criticism in the last 2 poems of the site. However, his critique was not against the policy, but against the generals who were not loyal to the emperor. Even Du Fu himself seriously considered the option of joining the army, but eventually gave up the idea because he did not think he was fit for the army. If you would like to read the whole set of 5 poems, please contact me. The first poem expresses the reason why a young warrior wanted to join the army and describes the banquet his village threw for him before he set off. Now, let me read the first poem in Chinese. 男儿生世间，极壮当封侯。战伐有功业，焉能守旧丘？朝暮复剑门，军动不可留。千金买马鞍，百金装刀头。闾里送我行，亲戚拥道周。斑白居上列，酒酣尽数休。少年别有证，含笑看吴钩。Now, let's look at the first 4 lines. 男儿生世间。男儿 refers to young man. Given the context of the poem, it is better to translate it as I because what followed is from the first person's perspective. So we just insert the first person noun I as the subject in all the lines in this poem. 生 means born, 世间 means this world. 极 means rich, 壮 means prime. 当 means ought to. 封 means be awarded. 侯 is the title of marquis, but the title here is used as a generic term for all the titles. 战 means battle. 伐 means attack. Both terms refer to military achievement that could earn titles and land, so we translate them as battlefield. 有 means there is, but here it refers to the fact that there were titles to be gained by military achievement, so we translated it as gain. 功业 means military achievement. 焉 means how. 能 means could. 守 means defend. 旧 means old. 丘 means hill. 旧丘 means old hill, but here it refers to the existing territory in contrast to the territory to be conquered. We also reverse the order of the last 2 lines, so they read better. So the 4 lines read, when I was born in this world, I decided I ought to obtain a title when I reach my prime. How could I just defend existing territory when exploits can be gained in the battlefield? 朝暮复剑门，军动不可留。千金买马鞍，百金装刀头。招募 means recruit. 复 means set off. 剑门 refers to a fortress near today's Beijing. It was the northern frontier during the Tang Dynasty. 军 means army. 动 means move. 不可 means cannot. 留 means stay. 千 means thousand. 金 means gold. 千金 means 1,000 pieces of gold. But jin often refers to metal instead of gold in classical Chinese. So we just translated 千金 as 1,000 coins. 买 means buy. 马鞍 means saddle. 百 means 100. 金 means coin again. 装 means to put together an equipment, as in the phrase of 装备 meaning equipment. Here it refers to the action to get a halberd put together and pay for it. So we translated it as buy. 刀 means halberd. 头 means head. So the 4 lines read, the army has already been ordered off to the Jianmen frontier, so I can no longer stay. I have 1,000 coins to buy a saddle, 100 coins to buy the head of a halberd. 屡礼送我行，亲戚拥道周。斑白居上列，久旱尽树修。吕 means the gate to a compound. Li means neighborhood. So 吕里 just refer to all the neighbors. 送 somebody 行 means seeing off. 送我行 means see me off. 亲戚 means relative. 拥 means crowd. 道 means road. 周 means by the side of. 斑 means gray. 白 means white. 斑白 refers to people with gray or white hair, so we translate the term as the elders. 居 means sit. 上 means upper. 烈 means raw. 酒 means wine. 酣 means half drunk. 进 means bring in. 树修 means various dishes. So the 4 lines read, the neighbors see me off. My relatives crowd around me by the side of the road. The elders sit on the upper part of the banquet table. We were already half drunk, and still more dishes arrive. 少年别有证，含笑看吴钩。少年 means young man. 别 means different. 有 means have. 正 means gift. 含笑 means smile. 看 means look. Wu refers to the state of Wu, who were known to produce the best swords during the Warring State period. And Wugou is one of their best known swords produced there. Here the term is just used as a generic term for swords. So the 2 lines read, the young man gave me a different gift, and I smiled at the Wugou sword they presented. It is quite clear from this poem the young warrior was eager to join the army to realize his military ambition, and his fellow villagers and relatives were very proud of him. The 3rd poem shows how high were the army's morale and how eager the generals and the soldiers wanted to conquer new territories for their emperor. 古人重守边，今人重高寻。岂知英雄主，出师更长云。六合以一家，四夷且孤军。遂使皮虎士，奋身勇所闻。 拔剑击大荒，日收胡马群。是开玄冥北，持以奉五君。Now let's look at the first 4 lines. 古人重守边，今人重高寻。岂知英雄主，出师更长云。古 means ancient, 人 means person, 重 means heavy, but it also means taking something seriously, as in the phrase of 重视 meaning focus on. So we translate it as focus on. 守 means God. 边 means frontier. 今 means today. 人 means person. 重 means focus on. 高 means great. 寻 means military achievement. 岂知 means who knows. 英雄 means heroic. 主 means the Lord or the emperor. 出 means set off. 师 means army. 更 means continuous. 长 means long. 云 means clouds. 更长云 means continuously stretched out like clouds. So we translated it as longer than the clouds. The 4 lines read, the ancients focus on guarding the frontier. People today value great military achievements. Who will know our heroic emperor who set off the army longer than the clouds? 六合以一家，是以且孤军。遂使皮虎士，奋身勇所闻。六 means 6, 合 means direction. 六合 refers to the 4 directions plus what are above and below, hence the whole universe. Here it refers to all the territories. 以 means already. 一家 means join together like a family. Here it means all the territories are united. 是 means full. 夷 means barbarian. 且 means ant. 孤 means isolated. 军 means army. So 士夷 refers to the tribal people from the 4 directions. 孤军 means the tribal people were isolated from each other, hence posed no threat to the Tang Empire. 遂 means hence. 使 means let or make. 皮 refers to a mythical dragon-like beast. 虎 means tiger. 士 means warrior. So 皮虎士 refers to warrior that are as terrifying as the mythical beast and tiger. 奋 means rise up. 身 means body. 勇 means courage. 所闻 means want to be known. So the 4 lines read, all the territories are joined as one, and the barbarians from all 4 directions were isolated, hence letting all the terrifying warriors rise up, wanting their courage to be known. 拔剑击大荒，日收胡马群。是开玄冥北，赤以奉五君。拔 means draw, 剑 means sword, 击 means attack, 大 means great, 荒 means wilderness. 日 literally means day. However, it could also mean every day, as in the phrase of 日进斗金, make a bucket of coins every day, meaning making a lot of money. 收 means gather, but here it means that the warrior took away the horses from the Hun after they defeated the Huns. So 胡 means Hun, 马群 means horse herd, 是 means swear, 开 means open up, xuan ming refers to the northern god. Bai means north. Xuan ming Bai refers to the northern territories governed by the northern god. Chi means take. Yi means something. Feng means present. Wu means my. Jun means emperor. So the 4 lines read, we draw our swords and attack the great wilderness. Every day we gathered the Hun's horse herd. We swear we are going to open up new northern territories to present to our emperor. These 2 poems are from a set of 5 poems. The poems tell a story from the perspective of a deserted officer who escaped from the frontier because his general rebelled against the emperor. This brave warrior had fought along with his general for over 20 years and won many battles. He deserved to be awarded for his military achievement. However, now that his general rebelled against the emperor, all his effort and achievement were pointless, and he had to flee. He felt that he was lucky he was still alive and not labeled as a traitor. It is clear from the poem that Du Fu felt a deep sympathy for the soldiers and officers who fled from their rebelling generals. They wasted their lives because the mistakes of the emperor and the betrayal of their generals. Their ambition failed and their future destroyed. That is why Du Fu felt so sad. In my next video, I'm going to continue Du Fu's story and translate 2 more of his poems. If you're new to my channel, please check out my other videos on classical Chinese poetry, philosophies, and medical literature. If you like the content of these videos, please click the like button and subscribe my channel. I also offer one-to-one online lessons on these subjects, so if you would like to read the original text, please contact me. Here's my email address. Otherwise, thank you for viewing my video, and I will see you next time.